Oh, that's the down-facing camera's just for effect. See, I can do this, and it's like blurred. It's like a cool little starting soon screen. You can kind of creep on me while I get everything ready. All right, I think we're ready. Let's do this. I got a special surprise for everybody. Good morning. This is the new studio shot. I've ripped out everything and redid all of my backside here. That sounded wrong. It's still early. But the rack, I've ripped out almost everything, redid a couple PCs, just streamlined everything for the stuff. So yeah, it's something crazy. So initially for this stream, I wanted to do a full upgrade to Big Sur. I did the beta program, got my little Hackintosh all updated, but I don't know, it's just not working. It's just saying it's up to date and it's not downloading Big Sur. So I don't know. Maybe Apple was like, nope. So I don't know what happened with that. However, that is not to say we might just do a surprise change. We'll see. But there's one thing I wanted to talk about that I think we talked a little bit in chat about was Linus Tech Tips created a Windows AME video. Ameliorated, or I don't know how the heck you say that. But there's a couple things about that video I want to talk about. Because he just kind of showed AME and he didn't really say, hey, this is how we got it. He just said, hey, it's a gray area legally. And for this, it's not a gray area, first off. It's very much legal if you do it all yourself using open source projects. So let's get that out of the way. However, where it becomes from legal to illegal is if you download an ISO. So when it comes to Windows AME, yeah, it's if you download the ISO, it's very illegal because it strips out the activation servers and those types of things, and that crosses the line from legal to illegal. So have a copy of Windows, vanilla copy, get it going, and then you can actually strip it out and make your own AME. We'll flip to the desktop just so you can see, and we'll try to do this. And if this doesn't work, then I don't know. We could load up a Windows box and start stripping it out too. So I don't know. We'll see. But how's everybody doing? Change the camera angle. So yeah, this is just one of the angles. I wanted to start kind of with a blank slate. So this angle, which actually I'll go full screen so you guys can see a little bit more. This isn't exactly that, but so this is the full angle, which you'd see on like a YouTube video. A little bit different. I used to have over here a whole like workbench with like boxes and crap, and I was just like, why am I keeping all these boxes of things? You guys know I'm using a Shure mic. You can see it plain as day. I don't need to put a box that says Shure mic in the back. Just a whole bunch of garbage. I was like, I'm just gonna strip all of it out. Anything that was excess, I think whenever you redo something, you should strip it down to nothing or very minimal, whether it's code in a computer or whether it's in real life. Whenever you have problems, what you should do is try to get to an actual base level with just everything stripped out. So that's what I did with this shot, basically. It's okay. It's got a little personality. I kind of like it a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just like, you know, we'll see. But yeah. Yeah, let's hop over to the desktop and see how we go. Oh, also, guys, just please don't repeat yourself. Although I did put slow-mo on for this one, so those that do repeat, the mod should be able to kick out and ban. So, yeah, it'll be good. But let's pop over to the desktop. All right, so this is the software update. I am part of the beta program, so this should be fine. Do you want to restore default settings? No. So with the beta program, Big Sur should go ahead and download. It just isn't. So we'll go ahead and give it a reboot and see what we get. You'll see kind of my startup, which is interesting to say the least. Wallpaper utility with Linux, you're gonna want a variety. I can't remember the guy that made it, but man, it's so good. I did an open source wallpaper program, and it's terrible in in retrospect. So I would highly recommend doing like that variety. Thank you so much for the super chat, PRK. Much appreciated, man. What capture card am I using? So I have a bunch of different capture cards. There is the I had like a Camlink. I've had Avermedia 1, which is pretty good, and then I also had a couple other ones that I've kind of tinkered around with. I think one was by Clone Alliance, but I ditched all of them and went with a Magewell card. They're kind of pricey, but they're worth it. You don't get any artifacting. You don't have any slowdowns, USB problems. All those things just disappear. So that's really nice. One thing I really love about it. So, all right, let's see what we got here. All right, we'll go start. Let's see if we can get this thing updated. Come on, man. But it's just not wanting to do it, even though I have that. Let's see. I had Big Sur on here, and I am part of the old preview program, so coming this fall. Well, all right. Let's see. Nope. All right. Well, see how that goes. All right. Here we go. So as far as what I'm doing here, if you guys want to look, I like to use open source for all my stuff, so there's no question of legality. Everything is already on GitHub. If I do something on stream or if I do something in a video, I found out that the best way to approach things, so when you have like Hackintosh, some videos get flagged, some don't. Well, if everything is open source or anything downloaded is from official sources, it's kind of hard to say, well, that's not legal because, well, everything's from official sources. So that's the big thing when it comes to these types of videos where I'm just like, hey, don't download an ISO. I will never download an ISO that's not from the person actually making it. So whether it's Apple, whether it's Microsoft, all my ISOs are from official sources. Never, ever do I download an ISO from a different source. So very important to know. Let's see. Pulling that up. But if you want to see exactly what I'm doing here, I'm going to pull up my repositories. And then I'm going to check in with chat here in just a second. I just wanted to get all this set. I have a bunch of open core ones. So like this is a laptop, a UX. That's an old Asus laptop, about 5 years old, that I did open core on. Here is my interior PC, which is an AMD Ryzen open core with a Vega 64 card. And I think... oh, I don't even have this one on here, which this one's an actual Intel 9400 with a RX 580 in it. So this one's a little bit different, but needless to say, you need to follow the open core guides. That's what I did, and I just uploaded those just for examples for folks. It's not meant for you just to download and do one-to-one because your hardware is going to be different. But it's very important to get exactly the good stuff for your hardware. Check the App Store. Got it. All right. Let's pull up the App Store and discover. Let's see if we can go Big Sur. Big Sur. Oops. Nope. I never, ever pull up the App Store, so this is totally me being a noob because I don't buy anything. Like, I'm the anti-Mac user using a Mac. I literally, if it's not open source or I can't download it for free using like Homebrew, I'm just not going to use it on Mac. So that's the most terrible thing, but at the same time, it's fun. I think it shows people a different side of someone like myself using a Mac, which, you know, hey. Yes, yeah, so that's a good point, Don. Downloading original ISOs, there's 2 points. One, legality. It's good to be on the side of legal, because I always recommend legal. But two, there's a lot of shady individuals out there making ISO files. I never will make an ISO file to give it to folks. And I say any ISO file you download is bad. So like with the Linus Tech Tips AME video, I could tell he downloaded an ISO. How do I know? Because I've downloaded that ISO. So that's not a shot at him. I'm just telling you that way is illegal. It's not something I would actually show how to install, because how that goes down, how to get this ISO that was shown on that video was, you can tell with the wallpaper and how things were configured. You have to go to like a Telegram group and then download a torrent. And that gets super shady and definitely on the illegal side of things. That's why I say don't do that way. However, the setup is actually not as bad. The people that make Windows AME or made the scripts for AME, I don't think they did a great job. So we'll redo the scripts and make our own. We're not going to call it AME because I hate ameliorated or whatever the word is they use. We're just going to call it Windows Lite. So whenever I do that, we'll get into that for sure. So, and that's the cool thing. And what I wanted to do too is just kind of a goof when we do that. One, download the official ISO, but two, have it all open source on GitHub, which is owned by Microsoft. I think that would just be, it would be lovely. I think it just, there's some bit of justice to all that. So everything will be on official Microsoft servers, even though we're ripping out almost all that stuff. So that's fun. All right, so let's see if I can find Big Sur. So I'm on, you can tell that I'm on the beta program. So I've already signed in. Everything's up to date. I have a time shift backup. We go into advanced. You'll see this Mac is enrolled in the Apple beta software program. So that's there. I should be able to find Big Sur if I could work this app store. How does this work? Like, how do they recommend crap to you? All right, let's see. I think I got one from Edwin here. What is that? All right. All right. Build seed, no. Catalog seed. Should be good. Thank you, Edwin, for the pro tip there. Looks like we got to enroll as a developer seed, which we just did with this command. Oh, no, not time shift. I'm sorry, time machine is Mac. Still got my brain on Linux. Check your SM BIOS settings. Could be. All right. So since Mojave, they don't go through the store. And yeah, I hate that background music. That one's pretty bad. Most of it's pretty subtle. I keep forgetting to take out the ones I don't like. I need to just listen to it and remove it. All right. shouldn't have anything, so it's not here, which is fine. Now go back to software update. And everything's on there. Well, darn it. Oh, here we go. Safari 14. That's something. Let's see if it gives us anything else. No. Just Safari on that. Well, I'll go ahead and update. Why not? All the streams are now open on a live stream thing. So if you want to pass stream, just go to the live streams playlist on the channel. You should be able to get it. It's still all unlisted just because YouTube hates live streams. Long recordings are usually poorly received from YouTube, so that's why we don't do that. And if you need a direct thing, I'm still setting up a portal and everything on christitus.com to get everything. So if you're looking for a specific live stream, I should have that. I'm just working on organization and structuring it a bit better. All right. Command R. We'll let this go through on the update, see what we get. We'll refresh it after this. All right, so I might have a modern SM BIOS. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna go ahead and mount my EFI partition, and then let's go in here and check this out. So let's pull up Finder, and we're gonna go into this. I think I still have mount EFI. Let's go ahead and mount. Mount the boot drives EFI. All right. Mounted that. Now if we come into here, we should have our EFI folder. Ooh, I need to clean up some stuff here. Holy smokes, all right. Well, that's not good. We're just gonna move all that to the trash for a second. All right, coming into our OC folder, let's pull up our config plist. Let's see what we're doing with SM BIOS, shall we? And actually, I think I need to grab, we'll open this up with, ooh, do I not have that project anymore? I might have gotten rid of it. I modified it a bit, so let's change our SM BIOS around. We'll run that command R one more time just to make sure it's not grabbing it. Checking for updates. Yeah, no. So we'll change this, our SM BIOS, and just change what we have. So as far as what's this Mac, it right now, oh yeah, it's a 2017 iMac is what this is actually registered as. Yeah, I'm working, another fun thing that I'm working on is, hopefully I'll get like a 3080 whenever they release. There's a fun thing, I was talking with Hikari, which you guys probably seen him in chat and around the channel, and there's a possibility that the 3080s have a feature from the Quattro cards, which is very important when it comes to virtualization, to where you can use it on the host machine and a virtual machine at the same time, and it'll have hardware access to both, which is huge. So, okay, I hate this song. We gotta switch that up. Can we just go down a little bit? Give me a chill song. All right. Yeah, SRIOV. That's the what I was looking for. Yeah. So once I get that, I want to try it out to see if we can actually get hardware access. That'll be huge for Linux and getting virtualization going. Very, very big. So. Man, Edwin's got some gems today. Unenroll from the beta program, he says. Let's unenroll. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to change SMBIOS. I mean, it just doesn't make sense why I'd have to go to an old one. SMBIOS 6 is really old. But, you never know. Let's see what that does. Nope, still doesn't like me. Alright, let's go. Oh, man. I'm just going to take this music down just a hair. Just driving me a little bit crazy. Alright, we're going to take it down about 5 decibels. Alright, we're going to download, what is it? Not Gen SMBIOS, I think. Here, we'll just go to OpenCore's website. I think we should get, the desktop guide should have it. Alright, let's see what we got. Just need to grab the utilities here. All right, proper tree and Gen BIOS is what we need. So we're gonna just download these guys. Download that one. Yes. And then we're gonna just download this guy as well. All I care about is the music. As long as it's copyright-free music, that's all I care about. That's my main concern. That and it not being annoying. Alright, so we got proper tree, Gen BIOS. Let's take a peek at that. Will the 3080 be able to do multiple VMs at the same time? Yes, typically. Like the Quattros, what would happen in like when you set those up, you could split that between multiple VMs. So you can see it of multiple instances, all kinds of things. So you can share out, basically carve up that card pretty well, which is nice. So, like I said, but I'll have to wait till I get one. Which I don't know. They might be limited availability. The hype is real with that card, so I might have issues getting my hands on one. Oh, yes. I don't forget about chat. It's just sometimes chat gets to be a lot. A lot of people chatting. All right, Gen BIOS. Let's go. So what happens a lot when you download stuff on Mac, it just kind of drives me crazy, is they always have these extended attributes that are crazy. Like, let's see. Yeah, I think it's that, yeah. So it always puts everything in quarantine and just, so then you can't use it. So, yeah. So there's this right here, which we need to do. X8 rib, I think it's delete. And then let's just take off these extra things. I think I can just do star, right? Yeah, that did it. So let's just go back to that and then go over to Gen BIOS as well. Let's do the same thing. Strip out that guy, and yeah. So that should fix everything. So now we can actually execute this stuff on Mac. All right, we don't need Gen BIOS yet. Let's open up proper tree though. Yeah, so I'm not a hardware guy. I've never been really great with hardware. Like, I would much, I would trust Jay's 2 cents more than myself when it comes to hardware. Uh, in, and this is typical. Like, I think people confuse someone that's technically adept. I find that certain individuals skew more towards hardware, or some people skew more towards software. For me, I skew heavily towards software. Not to say I can't do hardware. Like you guys saw my wife build, doing that PC. There's plenty of things, plenty of mistakes I made during that build. I mean, I'm adept. I can do hardware, and I can get it working just fine. Am I gonna do everything perfectly and make it look amazing? Probably not. I'm just gonna be. I don't really care what it looks like. I don't care about the aesthetics. I just like, does it work? Can I do it for what I wanted to do it for? And then if that's the case, then I'm like, cool. And then I'm just like, throw it in the background and I forget about it. And when it comes to software, that's where that's my jam. Like, you put me in any operating system and say, hey, I need to solve X problem. That's my expertise is the software, making computers do things, no matter what computer it is. It could be a Pi, it could be whatever. That's my thing. All right, so we got proper tree loaded. Let's just go ahead. Oh, my little, let's go full screen with this actually, so we don't have issues. Now we should be able to go config plist here, and we're gonna come down to SM BIOS and change some stuff. Yeah, so if you this is lagging for you, or you just can't keep up with the bit rate, I'm putting out I think about 6,000 bit rate, so you need a decent internet connection. So if you have slow internet or cellular, this will be available in the live stream sections. It will be unlisted, so you won't see it in any of the actual publication portion. But if you go to my playlists, you can see the live stream from there. 30 days of Haiku. No. I would much rather do BSD than Haiku. Get out of here with that. That's like 30 days of Temple OS. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me with that, guys. Yes, this is perfectly legal. Everything's open source. Everything's from official sources. So there is no... you might be breaking terms of service. So as far as the terms, possibly. But as far as like legality, everything again is open source and not an issue there. All right, so here's the SM BIOS and the platform info. We probably should change this around, reissue our serials, and see what we get. Big Sur is ugly. I agree with you, Julian. Yeah, so yeah, I think Drischel said, hey, can you re-upload? I'll unlist this afterwards. Just check the live stream playlist. So yeah, I don't ever do anything. Terms of service is, everyone breaks terms of service one way or another. But it doesn't mean that it's illegal. It just means that you broke the terms of that actual operating system. I mean, honestly, every single operating system, I pretty much break the terms. Maybe not Linux, because Linux has such a you can change everything. But eventually, it's so egregious. A lot of those terms, which when you look at the legality of a lot of those things, a lot of them are a bit difficult to decipher, and some of them are just plain crazy. Like, God, I wish I could remember the site for TOS that you can look up stuff, but I can't at this time. Where it grades everybody's TOS. I think Twitter was pretty terrible. Apple was not as bad as you think. Microsoft, of course, terrible. But yeah. It's pronounced Drischel. It's an Indian name. Drizzle. No, I'm just gonna totally mess Drizzle. Yeah, okay. I probably missed every single one of those. I'm terrible with it. All right, let's pull up Gen BIOS and get us a new BIOS, shall we? All right, here we go. So let's update it first. Clean that up. All right, so we'll select our P list and we'll take the EFI partition of this. Let's see what we got. Where are we at? I want to say, yeah, this should get us there. Can't remember. There was a way I could modify and actually grab the full path name, but dang it, I couldn't. Oh well. I want to say this is like volumes. I'm going to just type this in just to make sure I get it right. I think EFI, right? Yeah, I'm always in this. It's harder to do this on... Twitch was a little easier just because there was less people. So... I'm going to also pop this out a little bit so I can read a little more chat. Do you think Apple will improve its own silicone? Or will right to repair become much harder? So I think it's a double-edged sword with some of the stuff going on with Apple. One, I think it is going to be much more efficient. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a big improvement off the x86 architecture that Intel's had like such a monopoly on forever, or AMD as well. But right to repair is going to be... You're not going to be able to repair a Mac. I'm just curious to see how long they'll support x86 architecture. That's what I'm curious about. And how good Rosetta 2.0 is going to be. Because if you remember the original Rosetta coming from PowerPC in the mid-2000s to x86, it was so bad. It was terrible. It was I guess, better than nothing, but it wasn't great. There was a little bit of a lag there. So I think it'll be better. But then again, Apple circa 2006, but pre-iPhone, doesn't have the resources that Apple 2020 has. So I think it would be all right. We'll see. Can Apple not ban your account for doing this? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not really doing anything bad here. If anything, I'm helping Apple with more customers that they normally wouldn't have, or people that couldn't afford an Apple. But then again, yeah, I guess they could ban me. I mean, pretty much when you get down to it, you can get banned from any platform relatively easily. I mean, if you do something bad. But again, using all official sources, all open source, it's much harder to single somebody out and ban them from doing that. And that's why I do it that way. God bless. All right, back to it. Let me find this. All right. I think you can tell I don't use Mac that much, or that often, I should say. I modified my Finder. The Finder is probably the thing I hate the most about Mac, to be honest with you. Can't remember the full path name. Where are you at? Full path name. I hate how they simplify that down, but let's see. Nope. Yeah, I mean, I think Apple just wants to protect their own property. As long as you're not infringing on their IP, you should be fine. If anything, if you become like a huge Apple fanboy and you love Mac OS, typically you're going to go buy a Mac. I mean, I don't think very many people just rock Hackintoshes. For me, I just do it so I have something to test stuff in the Mac OS or the Mac environment. That, and I do like Microsoft Office in Mac a lot better than I do Windows because it just works better. View. Oh, show path bar. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Well, no, that didn't show the full path, did it? Yeah, I have the path down here, but the full actual path name. All right, here's what we'll do. I was like, I know there's a thing. We're gonna just change Finder around. Let's change that. Kill all Finder. Nope. Kill all Finder with caps. All right, we'll kill all of Finder. Then we'll launch Finder again. Yeah, see? That's what I wanted. Right there. Terminal to save the day again. Thank you. If you're a non-Mac user, terminal saves. Well, I guess if you're a Linux user using Mac, terminal is the best. It's the thing I'm the most familiar with. But yes, I just wanted to know the path name. And instead of just having it be the folder name, I wanted the full path name in the title bar. So changing terminal to just put that right there, default right, and changing Finder to show the full POSIX path in the title is what I wanted. For whatever reason, the default, I guess maybe an update wiped that out. But anyways, regardless, this is what I wanted. So I need to just do volumes, EFI, EFI, OC, and then config.plist is what I was doing. So volumes, EFI, EFI, OC, config.plist. And let's go generate SMBIOS. Oh man, we have that? Okay, yeah, it's an 1803 right now. 06. Can you use Steam on macOS? No, not really, actually. Steam's about to be completely break on macOS. I mean, technically you can install it, but I don't know how practical that is. There's not very many games. You don't really just don't game in a Mac for the most part. I think it's SMBIOS 6,1. I want to say that would be the one we need the most. 2003 model. So I think we'll go Mac Pro 6,1. I think is the one that people want to use, or it wants for Big Sur. Let's take that down. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted. Oh, that's right. I closed my terminal, didn't I? We're gonna just go to a new, and let's pull up Finder again. And from here, let's go ahead, grab downloads, and switch this out. All right, so if I look at proper tree, we should be able to switch out SMBIOS right here. I want to say, I think I switched this from, I think it's just Mac Pro 6,1. could be wrong. That might be app. Let's look up system product names real fast. System product name. I think 6,1. I can't remember the actual. Nope. You know what? We'll pull up OpenCore's website again. I want to say that's what I should do. Would you ever do a video with a viewer? Yeah, man. I've done some collabs and stuff and other stuff. A lot of times it's just having the time to do it. A lot of times I'm just all over the place, or sometimes I'm recording at midnight. You know, just depends on what I have. A lot of people, I think, forget that I have a day job. So it just depends. I was actually scheduled. My last collab was supposed to be, I think, with Tech. Not Tech Quickie. That's LTD. Tech Time or something like that. I can't remember his name. But I ended up having like a doctor's appointment, and I just couldn't make the time. Hopefully I didn't piss him off too much. Seemed like a cool guy. But that's the thing. Sometimes with collabs, they just kind of fall apart on you. Yeah. Sparky, you knew I had a day job. Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people, when it comes to degrees in college and stuff, most people know I'm pretty critical of college. I think it's when it comes to the tech field. Now, mind you, if you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer and it requires a college education, go get a college education. But going to college just to go to college these days, I think is just completely dumb. Like, that's the worst thing. Unless your parents are like millionaires or something, sure. But I see kids keep putting themselves in a lifetime of debt. They could like literally go out and buy a house with how much debt they put themselves in to get like a liberal arts degree or a degree in psychology or, I mean, there's so many terrible degrees, and I just like, oh, well, that's nice. You just wasted your entire life at 20. I mean, or you at least set yourself back at least 10 years. And I'm just like, if you would have just jumped into it and done your own thing. And, you know, I have some pretty controversial opinions on that. You know, I think the boomer generation, when it comes to like growing up, you know, a lot of the landscape of business has changed in the last 20 years. Like, you rewind 20 years ago in the late 90s, early 2000s, people, you know, companies took care of their employees and they treated them really, really well. Not to say there's not companies that don't, but I'm just saying it was more the norm back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and people wanted to get a job at a good company or a big company, and then that company would be who they were. The whole landscape's changed in business, and that's just no longer the thing. You're better off with like a SMB or a small business and establishing relationships and those types of things, I think, these days. Just my 2 cents, though. I mean, I've lived through both lives, and I got to tell you, the big company did not treat me well, and I hated every minute of it. So, to each his own. Everybody has different life experiences. Oh, yeah, the wristwatch I wear, that's a tick watch. I made a video, or actually I made an article on my website about how to de-bloat your tick watch. I didn't want to make a YouTube video. I was like, nobody has a tick watch. But for those 2 people out there searching Google, you can find it on my website. Tick watch de-bloat. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this SM BIOS. I just want to make sure I put in the right thing here before I generate new serials. Because this could be, I think I got Coffee Lake. Let's see. So I'm just looking up this real fast, choosing the right SM BIOS. I'm just trying to get the proper one here. I think we can go MacBook Pro. Yeah, MacBook Pro actually has a GeForce. That's not gonna work. Let's go iMac 6 maybe. So yeah, right now I'm just looking up iMac. Let's go iMac Pro. Or no, not iMac, just regular iMac. I think someone said iMac 6.1. That does not look like it would work, but we can go ahead and try that. iMac 6.1 is what we're gonna go with for this SM BIOS setup. So this is not a thing. Don't put that in there. iMac 6.1. And that should be there. Let's go ahead, proper tree. We're gonna go ahead and write this out. Go ahead and clean this snapshot too. And we'll write this guy out. Save. Then let's come back over to here. Let's pull up Gen BIOS again. Go ahead, do that. And we'll install the latest. Go through this and actually see if we can read the 6.1 and generate a new serial. And see if we can actually upgrade this to Big Sur, because it did not work last time. So we'll go volumes, EFI, OC, config, plist. From here, let's generate a new one. And we're, oh god, I didn't even need to do all that, what I just did in the plist, of course. Yeah, I'm such a dummy. Alright, here we go. We did that, quit out, come back into here, file, reload from disk. We now have new serials, quit out of that. Give this a little restart and see what we get. I did install Manjaro on the Pine phone. That's a good one. Manjaro on the Pine phone did not work all that well. It was still in its alpha phase. I think it was alpha 3 on the last one I tried on the Pine phone. Still very early development. So still has a ways to go on Manjaro. The closest one on the Pine phone that was pretty functional was the, I'd say the UBports Ubuntu Touch was probably the closest. Still not quite daily driver material though. That's why I haven't made much more videos about it. Even though that one video I think is almost up to 1 million views now on the Pine phone, surprisingly enough. It's kind of nuts, but hey. All right, so if we go about this Mac, I guess let's see the Mac. Or we got it. Yeah. Late 2006. Oh my god. All right, let's see if we can refresh this. Come on, give me some Big Sur action, right? Ugh. Come on. Alright. I would tell you guys my password. You'd laugh. Alright, let's see what that does. Probably need to re-register all this. It's going to sign me out, but once we do, it should be fine. I say that, but I don't know if my Apple ID is going to re-authenticate or not. It'd be hilarious if Apple was watching the stream and they're like, nope. I don't think that's a thing. Yeah, I unrolled from beta, so I can always re-download it too and re-push it through. So we'll try those two things as well. But it's looking like this stream's gonna be a failure. It's doing a lot of something in the background there. Let's see, what is exactly happening? Give me an H-top. Oh. Crap. What is that? Top? It was like every Unix box has top. That's weird. Windows server. That's funny. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Definitely jamming away. Yeah, so right now we just changed our SM BIOS around. I was on SM BIOS 18, which is about a 2017 iMac, and it just was not giving me Big Sur. We were all up to date, everything was looking good, but just it didn't matter if we enrolled as a developer or part of the beta program, which I'm signed up for. It just wouldn't give me Big Sur, so I'm trying to change my SM BIOS around. Right now, SM BIOS 6, I think, is what we're trying, which is an early 2006 iMac. Oh, HTOP can be installed through Homebrew. All right. Well, while it's doing its thing over here, let's go ahead and brew us some HTOP, right? See if it allows me to do that. Hey, morning, Michael. Yeah, lost in the woods. Yeah, this is becoming a failure. I was talking about the, what was it? The Windows AME a little bit earlier. We'll have to do that, because I know AME is something that we'll definitely get going. Mac, we're kind of at the mercy of Apple here, of whether or not we can get Big Sur or not. With AME, I know I can pimp that out. I know I can strip out Windows. 100% certainty we'll get something done on that stream. This one, yeah, well, we'll see. Look at that. Mitchell was on top of it. We can install that. It looks like, look how much stuff is being used. It's almost like Windows, to be honest with you. Not quite as bad, though. Nothing's as bad as Windows when it comes to idle usage in the background. But still, quite a bit of stuff hogging that CPU. You can see it's split about 10 different ways. I think Macs are a little bit better about sharing resources, though, compared to a Windows box. Oh, lordy, that's just not going, is it? Oh, nothing's showing on your guys' screen. Well, probably for the best. I got my email up here, which I really don't care. It's a public email. All right. Yeah, it's just locked up on me right now. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's fun. I'm just going to kill system preferences real fast. And where are you at? What do I think about Windows 10 Enterprise? I think it's a good play by Microsoft to try to get everybody on board with software as an operating system. Or operating system as a service. Enterprise is, I think, a monthly fee for Mini. They have VLK licenses, but definitely the big push to try and get people on a subscription basis on actual and OS. I despise it at all costs. I think that's just absolutely terrible. But I get it. It's a smart business play. Just not my cup of tea, man. And right now, wish I could show you guys this, but my system preferences is kind of borked. Alright, let's just quit this. Yeah, come on, quit. Alright, that's just not working. Forget it. Forget it. I know it'll work. That'll work. Yeah. Yeah, so LTSC does do a lot of telemetry, as does Enterprise or any Windows box. AME is interesting. It's kind of like a gimped version of Windows, so there's certain things you can't do in it. I would say, obviously, I'm going to say Linux. Linux is just, hey, use it. It's great. Definitely try it out. But for some people, it's just not an option. You could use AME. I don't mind showing people AME, but not the AME that's shown from LTT. I want you to make your own AME. I want you to have the exact same as... I want you to make your own. You know, it's kind of like... I don't want people to download ISOs that aren't from Microsoft. Just no. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's just bad. See, this is what I was trying, and it just would not sign in. Like, refused. Gib Mac OS? I don't know what that is. Yeah, definitely check out the CTT store. store.christitus.com. Let's see. Send the code. Send the code to me. Mac and their codes. Alright. Alright. Probably shouldn't do this on stream, but whatever. We're good. I don't really keep much on my Mac. So it is what it is. Alright, we're signed back in. Let's pull up system preferences. Let's go to... Oh, crap. Continue. We're probably going to need to sign in a couple times. Alright. Anytime you change your serial or your SM BIOS, you got to sign into everything again. It recognizes it as a new Mac. As you can see, I've done it a bunch. So, it is what it is. Continue. Okay. Don't have a water bottle to chill. That's right. Sparky, you need to get on that, man. No water bottle. How many times do you think Apple's gonna ask me for a password? Yeah, but I don't want to call it AME. You know, like I said earlier in the stream, I don't want you guys downloading an ISO, an AME ISO. If I see a blurry man on a bunch of computers, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be like, nope, you're using an unsanctioned ISO. Download the vanilla, make it yourself. What those scripts do from the AME team is really basic. I mean, you're just basically deleting Windows components. That's all you're doing. So, best developer, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. All right. It looks like we're back in business. We got our Apple ID redone. Let's just redo this. And we'll redo the beta sign up too. I think I have beta in here. We'll sign back up and re-download things. We'll go ahead and check for updates. I don't think that's going to work, but let's go ahead, re-sign up. And then if this doesn't work, I'm just going to give up. We'll just go straight to chat and answer any questions y'all might have. Keep. Give me it. Oh, lordy. All right. Just give me that. Whatever. All right. We already signed up. Now, here's the public beta. Big Sur. Cool. Getting started. Let's enroll this Mac. We're going to already backed it up. Cool. Let's download our public access utility. We'll download that. We'll run the DMG file. It'll open up. It'll say, hey, guide me through. Yep, I agree to whatever that says. You can have my firstborn child. We'll sign in. Check updates. And I hate Mac. All right. Well, that was fun. Yeah, you can move that to trash. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna just be stuck on Catalina for a little bit longer. I wanted to show the Big Sur. We enrolled the Mac. I tried even changing my SM BIOS to get this going, but it just is not wanting to give me the Mac directly from the Apple Store for some odd reason. Yeah, poop. Well, like I said, can't win every time. So, Gib Mac OS downloads Mac OS from Apple Store servers. Oh yeah, is Gib Mac actually? Let's see. Now that you say that, I want to check this out. But Gib Mac I've used. We can do Gib Mac OS, but that requires us to use the thumb drive and all that. Which, well, no, I think actually we can. It'll grab the DMG file maybe. Now let's see. Gib Mac OS. Let's just download it and see. It's worth a shot. Release it. No, I think we just download the full project. Gib Mac OS command. Extract that out. Close this guy. Launch into here. Pull up old Gib Mac. Gib Mac OS? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, all right. Quarantine. I think I can just go. Let's see if the history commands work in Mac. I think they do. Unix commands are so universal. It's so great. Doesn't matter if you're on Linux or Mac. You can just go for it. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Love it. All right, so we're in business. Let's see what we get. I don't know if Gib Mac has Big Sur, does it? Yeah, see, Gib Mac doesn't have Big Sur in here. Just Catalina. I was like, I don't think. I mean, it downloads directly from Apple, and I don't think it's on the public catalogs. Let's change the catalog to beta, maybe. No, change it to developer, actually. Let's download the developer catalog. Oh, there it is. Big Sur beta. Boom. Let's grab it. Yeah, Sparky actually was on a 17. So, oh my God, 12 gigs? Oh, poo. All right, well, I might have to update everybody in the comments section after this stream is over because that's going to take a while to download. Will your script work in... So I get this question quite a bit about my Windows scripts. Will they work in X Windows? And the answer is absolutely. You can use it in whatever version you want. So have at it. If it's Windows 10, it works. Obviously, Windows 7 and Windows 8's a different beast altogether. Yeah, so 215,000 subs. That's nuts, man. That's so nuts. I didn't... yeah. Thank you all for watching the videos and subscribing. But yeah, it's YouTube's crazy, man. Like, if you can get on here and record a video like a couple times a week, dude, you're gonna do well. As long as it's not like crap. You gotta... The end result is you gotta provide value. Like, that's it. Like, whatever it might be. Gardening, cooking, tech. You gotta be able to provide value. You gotta be unique and provide value. Those are like the two things. So don't just copy somebody else. Do your own thing. Be your own person. There's something you're better at that, you know, that other people aren't as good as. Do that, and you'll do well. YouTube's amazing for that. I love YouTube. Did you notice the small change? Yeah, I did, Sparky. We're adding some stuff to the store. How to build pieces and make a distro. Another thing I've been working on, this isn't complete yet. I'm still working on converting everything on the memberships. I forgot to tell everybody this, but this month will be the last month I have a Patreon. I will be shutting it down completely, and I will also be converting my existing ChrisTitus.com membership to, it's still going to be all on ChrisTitus.com, but my backend's changing to incorporate everything. So whether it's PayPal, whether it's whatever form you want to pay with, you can. And the reason why I want to do that is make structured content to where you can easily just, if you're a member, you can just get it, which is awesome. So that's one thing I'm changing. Patreon's great for crowdsourcing and stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel bad because I'm not providing much value in Patreon. And if I do, or I make a post or something that's good, it just gets buried after a couple months with all the other stuff. So Patreon's fine, but I feel bad a lot of times when I use it because it just feels like I'm just taking donations and not giving much back, which I want to change. I want to make something to where it's great. So that's the thing. So I'm working on a new portal that is able to do all that, put all the stuff in one spot, which will be great for folks. Michael, I'm working on building that out, man. And next week, you should see one of those videos we talked about in the email. So, yeah, Netlify and Hugo is what the website's based on, which is static sites. I guess I should talk about this, too. Kaspersky users are getting apparently Trojan flags from my website, meaning if you're using Kaspersky on Windows, apparently it pops up and says, hey, there's a Trojan on this website. And I'm like, how is that possible with a static site? One, it's not. Like, what's Kaspersky doing, man? Like, it's a static site. The only thing I have is like some JSON search stuff, and it's showing a Trojan, and I'm just like, I will never recommend Kaspersky ever again. Like, I don't care how well they score and things. If they're just flagging every little thing, whether it's a JSON search or something else, I'm just like, I'm done with Kaspersky. So that's it. I will believe it when I say it. That is fine, man. I'm all about action. Ugh. So yeah, Bitdefender's great, man. I love Bitdefender. Yeah, there's not any major virus checkers that I really am a big fan of. When it comes to antivirus, a lot of times um, people forget that the first antivirus maker was the first virus maker. So the person that established really one of the very first antiviruses on computers made the very first virus as well. So it's almost like a self-fulfilling business model. I obviously that's not the case these days. It's mostly like script kiddies and things like that. But to say the least, that's the origins of antivirus and viruses. And I think at the end of the day, if you are a well-educated user, you can do things that you're not so reliant on any virus. I still think you should have one if you're using Windows, but I think understanding how computers operate and those types of things are very important. Oh, and this, I don't know if I mentioned at the start of the stream, but yeah, this is the new scene for everything. And these foam tiles over here, I just put them in a couple days ago, and wow, I think they do a pretty good job with the sound, but dang, I'm telling you, I'm getting kind of high with the fumes they give off. So if I'm a little bit out of it, I blame the foam tiles. Why Neuro Linux not work on my Linux Mint? WY Neuro? I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm not sure on that at all, actually. Have you ever had a problem with Proxmox not displaying total CPU usage in the summary page? I see CPU usage, but within each VM, not the whole node. So Cameron, in that, you're probably missing an agent. Definitely look up the QEMU agent and make sure it's installed on whatever the guest is. So whatever whether it's Windows, whether it's Linux, on that QEMU or that Proxmox guest, that VM that you're running, make sure you have those agents installed properly. That's why you wouldn't be seeing all the metrics and analytics that you need for CPU usage, memory usage. Also, it affects your performance when you don't have those agents installed, because not only from the actual console point of view when you're actually working with it, but also you're having less, it's less performant because it doesn't really know that it's in a virtualized environment, or it doesn't do it so well. Yeah, it's 29% on the download. So we're rolling along 30% now. I got a pretty decent connection. So it's downloading. That's a big update though, 12 gigs. Yeah, Windows update. The Linux kernel, I wonder how the new NVIDIA cards, I'll see how well the new cards, as soon as I get my hands on the 30 series, I'll install it and see how that goes. So I don't talk about GPU pass-through anymore in Linux for the most part, mainly because it requires two separate GPUs that are, not alike, and the complexity of the setup, and then also it's very dependent on hardware. So there's a lot of hardware that's just not compatible. Like I have a motherboard out here. It doesn't matter what I do, the IO-MU groups end up getting mixed up. No matter what I do, it clumps too much together, and I can't isolate that card out to do a proper PCI pass-through. So that's why I don't really talk about it all on YouTube anymore, is just because, one, it's technically demanding for pretty much everybody, and then two, it depends on your hardware. There's certain hardware that's just not going to work no matter what you do. So that's why. I got about 100 down, so it's not great, but it's not bad either. I can't really complain. It is fiber though. I think AT&T fiber. Yeah, so SLI was already pretty much dead. There's been a bunch of videos on YouTube about SLI just dying off, which is fine. I'm fine with SLI completely just not being a thing. And there's no real reason for like a 3080 or a 3070 to have SLI. When you got the 3090 that is just as performant as probably two combined together, then just get the 3090. Which is kind of nuts, so we'll see. Apple is selling a piece of metal at 1K. Wasn't that the Apple stand they did that with? The monitor stand that was like $1,000 or something crazy? It was nuts. Yeah, Sparky has a really good PCI pass-through GitHub. So does Hikari Knight too. He has another GitHub with PCI pass-through. Both the guides are pretty solid. So if you're interested in it and you want to give it a go, check those guides out on GitHub. Both are very, very good. Stop the stream, the download will go fast. I doubt that. So how streaming works is most of it's upload. So I could basically, the playback is where I'm downloading, where I could take, actually my playback is a little bit high, so I'll just go ahead and pause that. But yeah, for the most part, no, it doesn't really matter. Let me take these settings down, and I'm going to just pause them in both spots over here because I'm actually downloading the stream as I do it too, which I don't need to because it's fully recorded. So yeah, that should help download a little bit. It's 42%. Yeah. Hikari has a bunch of cool stuff. He did that hotkey for Windows users too, which I thought I was kind of out of left field, but just kind of neat for those that have anti-cheat problems and auto hotkey. Don't use the Radeon Windows beta drivers 20.8. I had to go to safe mode to remove them. Yeah, so if you have video card drivers, a lot of times, if you go to Guru3D, I think it is, .com, you can download display driver uninstaller, or short for DDU, or DDU is short for that. And DDU is a great way to uninstall Windows drivers. So if you do have GPU problems, or you're upgrading and you're having problems getting rid of all the extra crap after you've uninstalled them, use DDU and it cleans them out quite a bit. Is there a net limiter like program for Mac? I'm not sure on that. I haven't seen anything. Why your channel is so underrated? Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I am super happy with all the viewers, everything, subscribers, view counts, all that stuff. There's nothing I would change about my channel. So I think I appreciate the sentiment, but I love where I'm at with YouTube in general. You know, I really enjoy making videos, and I'm glad you guys enjoy watching them. And it's something that I'm trying to improve. That's the whole reason why I redid the studio. Hopefully the sound improves a little bit, because I know there was some sound issues in some videos. And I think with the one thing I've noticed since I've made a couple videos with the new foam is they are a little bit, it makes my voice a little more boomy, I find. So what if you had to do, if you choose between YouTube or your main job? Probably would choose my main job. I mean, it's, yeah, so YouTube's interesting. I guess nobody really talks about this, but I always end up talking about it some way or another, but YouTube's interesting, but it's very inconsistent. And from a business perspective, it's interesting. I getting good sponsors is difficult. I have a couple great sponsors that I'm super happy with, but getting those takes time, and you can just, I mean, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this, but there's a lot of, you got to have really thick skin. So YouTube's not for everybody. And I sometimes I come down on like Linus Tech Tips or other YouTubers, but really those guys, I don't know how they've done it as long as they've done it. Especially at a young age. If I was their age, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it, just to put things plainly. Like if I was a 20-year-old making YouTube videos, I probably would have quit. So props to them for hanging in there, because the hate they get, like, I mean, God, how many times has people made fun of Linus for dropping stuff? But like just all the stuff with it, there's a lot that goes into it. And a lot of these younger guys, the fact they've hung in there and been able to put up with a lot of the abuse, I would say it's not exactly, I would say it's pretty toxic at times with some of the comments and stuff you get. So, and for me, I don't care. Obviously, I've had an established career. When someone says, "Hey, you don't know what you're doing," I'm just like, "Cool story, bro. I don't care." But if you're 20 and you're just getting started with stuff, that definitely would affect you, I think, in a lot of ways. So, kudos to them, because like if you take the 20-year-old me and you take the 20-year-old Linus, and you both started on YouTube at the exact same time talking about the exact same stuff, I would say he'd be more successful than I would have, because I think at that time both didn't have had the same experience and everything. I mean, I hadn't really started my career yet, so that's an interesting take. I think that not very many people talk about, and some people, I think some of the successful YouTube creators, I think a lot of times when they start at such a young age, they don't have any other have something to transition to, so they just have to keep creating. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. So I'm really happy, but I love YouTube. I love doing YouTube, and I still love my day job. I think I'm going to just keep doing both. Yeah, he got his start at NCIX. So there's a lot of parallels there. When I was younger, I did a lot of retail work as well. So I was a retail manager for quite a few years in my late teens, early 20s. I worked Best Buy for a good bit there, even though I was doing some technical work, not just sales. But I did have to manage quite a few people, as I was pretty much, it was called a deputy field marshal for Geek Squad back in the early 2000s. So I had to manage a lot of technicians and technical people, and that had its own challenges, for sure. Yeah, that's amazing. Like I'm sure there's a lot more that goes on with that. That whole story, I think, is amazing. Linus's story is great. Is it possible to run 64-bit Linux if the CPU is 64-bit with a 32-bit EFI? Check out Matt Gradient page for details on how to convert the ISO to 32-bit EFI. I've never tried that, Mitchell. I've always pretty much just done 64-bit around. I don't even know what 32-bit CPUs out there when it comes to AMD or Intel. I don't think they even haven't made them in quite some years. Is there any good time shift for Windows 10? Not System Restore. System Restore's terrible. Don't use System Restore. There's a couple ones I like. I like a lot of their Cronus True Image products. I've used them. Believe it or not, Symantec Backup Exec is pretty decent. It's decent once set up, but it's a little convoluted to set up. If you want something real simple like Backup Assist, all these products though, like between a Cronus, Symantec, or Backup Assist, all of them do block-based backups, and I highly recommend block-based backups. They're fantastic when it comes to that. Hopefully someone in chat could recommend an actual open source project. I've never done any open source backups of of Windows 10. I always end up using some kind of paid product. As most times it's with businesses that I'm doing that. All right, how are we doing? 70% on the download. We'll see. We might not make it. I at least want to try to get the install going. We might not be sticking around for the full install on this though. Do you like Windows ameliorated, or is it more of a hassle than it's worth? Probably more of a hassle than it's worth. If you're a Windows user. However, I only say that because of the update process. Like Windows without updates, more specifically, Windows without security updates is pretty terrible. However, it does remove the attack surface by quite a bit because you're removing a ton of services and a ton of processes. So the attack surface shrinks by probably 50% when you go with a ameliorated or a stripped down version of Windows. I like just calling it Windows Lite. Because really all you're doing is just deleting a lot of services, and that's all that AME is doing. Like when next week we'll do an AME stream. I'll just show you all. It's easier to show you than actually talk about it. I always do better with just showing people, hey, this is what's up. But AME's great, depending on what you're using it for. So we'll load it up. We'll change the game box out back there. The only thing I think I can't play is like Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I think is the only thing because that's Windows Store based. You're gonna lose obviously all the Windows Store based stuff. Backblaze is great. Yeah, tech deals. Backblaze I use all the time. They're super cheap too. I think I have like 10 terabytes, and I'm pushing probably between about a terabyte of data usage a week to them, and I think it's like $6, $7. I mean, it's something just like ridiculously cheap. Like, I can't believe, like, it would cost me to run a server, just take the hardware and everything out, just to run a server and back up my stuff, than to pay Backblaze. I don't know how Backblaze does it. It's amazing. So yeah, if you're looking for a cloud backup solution, Backblaze is fantastic. Oh, well, okay, so AME or ameliorated, I don't like OnlyOffice. I don't like any of that stuff. Like half the stuff they did in that, they were using an ISO. They were using a pre-built ISO, which I've said a million times don't do. What we'll do is we're not even gonna call it AME. We'll make our own thing, and we're gonna call it Windows Lite. Super simple, right? Windows Lite. And what we'll do is we'll take the AME scripts off of their Git. They're not using GitHub. We're going to actually use GitHub. We're going to use Microsoft servers to host our Windows Lite scripts. And what we'll do is we'll strip out the services. We'll go through the whole scripts line by line, explain the scripts, and then modify our Windows to be AME. But we're not going to use a lot of the stuff that they do. Like, you can always tell the pre-built ISOs because the wallpaper background has that pixely guy in the background. A lot of the modifications to Explorer I don't like, File Explorer that is, and then we'll also change out some of the other aspects of it as well. So when it comes to AME, there's a lot of things I don't like about that pre-built ISO. That's why I was like, don't ever use a pre-built ISO, even if it is sanctioned by people. Like I said, I'll never give a sign off that's not an official ISO because I think you should be the one modifying your operating system. Whether that's Mac, whether that's Linux, whether that's Windows, you need to be the one making it your own. Using someone else's ISO to customize it is not an option. Shouldn't be. Should never be used. So, but to answer your question, yes, we'll make our own AME, and we're going to make it even more, we're going to make it lighter than the official ameliorated version, which we're just going to take the scripts and just clean them up a bit and just remove some of the stuff they do. Is Duplicati good for Windows 10? I don't know what Duplicati is. Never used it. I don't like WPS Office. I don't like LibreOffice, to be honest with you. There's not very many offices I enjoy. Yeah. I actually use FreeOffice on Linux, and I know a lot of people hate that, but whatever. Not a sponsor. Hashtag not sponsored. It's just my opinion. So don't hit me because it's proprietary. Don't hate on me. But OnlyOffice is not bad. I mean, it's okay. What recording software I use? Everything's OBS. So this is running Linux. All my streams are on Linux. Everything recorded is on Linux. I do Debian based for my stuff, so it's very, very easy. I never have to worry about it breaking, which is nice. I like Google G Office, G Suite. Eesh. Yeah, G Suite. I want to like, because honestly, having a web-based Office would be good. But honestly, and you'll probably throw tomatoes at me for this one, but I like Microsoft Office Online more than I like G Suite, which is kind of funny. Hey, what's up, Blackworm? Free Office, I know. It's sad face. Hey, to each his own. All right, we're almost there. Let's see what we got. Here we go, GSN. We're on the home stretch. We're on the final 5%. I've actually already done a laptop Hackintosh. Probably the most aggravating thing about laptop Hackintoshes is that laptop Hackintoshes always have like Intel cards. Almost every laptop has an Intel card or a non-compatible Mac Wi-Fi card. So you have to pretty much go buy like $100 Wi-Fi card for your old laptop, which I did, and I made it, but it sucked. Yeah, so open Intel Wireless. I've actually used that Kext before, and I gotta tell you, it sucked. I got so many drop packets. It's not a great solution. Wish it were. Wish it were a great solution, but it ain't. All right. Now we got the official Big Sur. Let's give it a whirl, right? Let's see what we got. Ah, crap. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this going. I don't know if you can do this right off the gate. I feel like this is gonna break something. Huh. I don't think. Well, maybe. Well, that might work actually. Oh crap. Gonna download everything over again, isn't it? All right. Yeah, Don's been waiting all day for me to break something. There's probably a good chance this is gonna break something, but I don't know. I mean, OpenCore has been so solid for me. Like when you pulled up, let's see, let's pull up applications again in Finder. Oh, let's go with this one. Get a new one. Applications. I saw like I originally installed I think High Sierra on this, and then I installed the Mojave, and then I installed Catalina. Like we can let's go ahead and trash this one. It looks like it's redownloading it again though. Oh Lord. Oh. Why? I'm out. I think you and I are in the same page, man. Take it easy, man. All right, well, I guess we'll let this run in the background here. Let's switch back to chat. It's going faster, though. 13 minutes remaining. We'll see how it goes. We did a time machine backup prior to this as well. You guys can kind of make out the blue bar down here. So you can kind of track the progress, but about 10 minutes is what it says. Yeah, I don't think it's re-downloading it either. It would take a lot longer than 10 minutes to download 12 gigs. At least on my connection. Why is Brave purple? I'm using a nightly build. That's why. So I think Brave colors its first orange for the official. I think the beta is also orange, but when you go to the nightly, it turns purple. So that's why. Yeah. And like, here's something funny too, guys. Check this out. Like when you're in here, look at what Mac is doing on the background. Like just the top of this, you can see all the different stuff that's happening. Oh my God, my sister. Live streaming. Oh, here. 1 second, I'm talking to my sister real fast. Live streaming. Everything is a go. Go. All right, here we go. All right, we're looking good, actually. That was quick. So, let's flip back to primary then. Oh, yeah, you guys see it. Let's restart. Do the install of Big Sur. Yeah, Mac is definitely pretty bloated. I hate to say the bloated word. Everyone says bloated for everything, and I think I always say Windows is bloated too. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, there's a lot of bloat with that, for sure. I think it just gets overused. That's why I don't like to say bloat. But I will say it is. There's a lot. But again, like to Frank's point here, I'm lazy. If it works, it works. And I got to say this about Mac. It works almost all the time. Sometimes it's slow, but it works. So, you know, I get it. Like I said, and that's why I try not to come down on anybody like, hey, you should install X operating system, because I'm just like, hey, man, use what works for you. I think that's the biggest thing. Too many people, you get like this little civil war of operating systems. In Linux, it has like this own little thing because all these distributions are fighting each other. But in general, like you have the Mac versus PC debate. I'm just like, use what works for you. I mean, there's pros to each operating system. There's pros to Windows, pros to Macs, pros to Linux. And it just depends on what you like the most. If people ask me, hey, what do you like the absolute most out of all the operating systems? Of course, I'm going to choose Linux because I know it really well now, and I'm much more efficient and productive in it. So that's why. And I don't know if I'm just staring at that. that doing? Doing anything? I'm just gonna leave it for a minute. We're just gonna stare at an Apple logo for a while. I'm sure it's gonna take a bit. I'm sure it's gonna take a minute. Probably. I did not. I think I had all my EFI flags messed up, so oh well. Do you like i3 window manager? i3's okay, I guess. I don't like how it's configured. The config files, meh. I like Lua a bit better. That's why I like Awesome. But hey, to each his own. i3's fine. It's not terrible. I mean, I don't think it's bloated like a lot of folks would say. I would just say it's different. Yeah, so a lot of Hackintoshes in the past, like I think a lot of people, I saw somebody like recommend some off-brand Hackintosh image and stuff. I can never recommend that because during updates to like Big Sur, or actually, like I said, I went from High Sierra to Mojave to Catalina, so I actually anticipate this working just fine. It just depends. Although it is just kind of stuck on this Apple logo, so yeah, we'll see. I'll let it go for about 5 more minutes. Do you stream retro console games? I don't, but I wouldn't mind starting. I wouldn't mind doing like some old school Final Fantasy, man. I love that. Do you like Xmonad? So here's the thing about Xmonad. I'm sure I would love it. It's just I haven't switched. I'm so used to my current process with Awesome that I'm just like, I'm going to stay on Awesome. But I think I would love Xmonad. I think I would hate DWM, though, by comparison. DWM, for a window manager, I think, compiling everything, I'd be like, yeah, this is a little bit... If it costs me time, I'm less... If it's something that I think is just a little bit longer to use, I'm out. I don't like my time being wasted. Yeah. I'm sure Big Core, Open Core will work on Big Sur. We'll see. Old school Pong and Space Invaders. Yeah, no, I'd probably do like Super Nintendo games. I loved Super Nintendo. That's kind of what that was my console growing up for the most part. When I wasn't on a computer, it was Super Nintendo. I think, what was it? PlayStation came out like 2000, so that was a bit after my time. The EFI flags, I took them out to emulate basically what a Mac would be like. So the screens you see normally would be, actual screens that would show, hey, this or that. And I made it emulate basically what a real Mac would be like. So the verbose flags is mainly what I changed in OpenCore. I don't understand the Wayland hate, honestly. Ace, so when it comes to Wayland versus X11, doing X11 forwarding is interesting. It's there is no X11 forwarding, which is, most people don't care. I care, but most people don't. Also, it feels like there's a lot less compatibility with a lot of other programs when you're not using X11 and you're using Wayland. So I want to say there's been a lot of projects where if I was on Wayland, just didn't quite work as well or work as properly. Like gaming specifically, I think I ran into a lot more problems with Wayland compared to X11. So that's where my Xorg's more superior to Wayland talk comes from. Is those two pain points, I think, are probably the two biggest things. But yeah, Wayland does work for most things. Your Mac seems broken. John, I think you're right, sir. Let's see. I don't see almost any hard drive activity. So let's give it a hard reboot right in the middle of install, shall we? Why not? Why not give it a whirl here? See what happens. I bet it's gonna do a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I broke it. I broke it. All right, well, let's see here. Did I keep the EFI partition as the big thing here? Probably not. Do I have my other drive on? I don't. Well then. Yep, I broke it. Wait, it takes a while. No, I let it sit for like 5 minutes. And I'm getting 0 hard drive activity. Like, just looking at it. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing. There's just a whole bunch of nothing. Nope. There's a whole bunch of nothing going on with that. Yeah, I bricked it. But that's fun. That's fun. Let's see if I can't unbrick it. Oh, nope. Dang it. Maybe it was this one. Well. There we go. Brick wall. Think, come on. Give me something. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got here. We'll just boot into our other partition, right? Let's just change that around. USB, but come down into crap. I have a mouse. Oh no. I swear, I miss the old BIOSes, guys. Like the old BIOSes, I never had problems with. These new fancy BIOSes, I'm just like, I'm out. Like, okay, cool. Let's go into settings. Go into boot. Let's bring this down into here. Should be fine. I think I have. Let's just check to see if I have any other problems with system status, SATA ports. Okay, so I have two. Okay, so I have one 3 terabyte drive and then 2 SSDs. Okay, so which SSD is my other drive? Of course, I have Linux loaded up on this thing. All right, I'm gonna say that's that one. I have a boot menu. Okay. Oh, there we go. Boot override. Linux Mint. Here we go. All right, give me something good. All right, here we go. Now, if I recall, I think I already had everything. I like to set up OpenCore and everything using Mint. It's a little weird right now because I I usually mirror it over to this other screen. Let me see if I can't do that real quick. Ah. A little weird, but that's all right. Display. There you are. And mirror displays. No? Not gonna come on. All right then. I'll just have to work on like a 1 second lag. So if I'm going real slow, that's what's up. So let's do a listing. I'm gonna make this bigger. Actually, it might be better for y'all because then it's gonna force me to fix all the fonts because I can't see it. Oh, jeez. Should be text, but go ahead and change the custom font. Get it something I can read. Bring it up to 18. Should give me, oh, there we go. Now I can read that. All right, clear that out. Let's go to downloads. Do I have anything? Oh, sweet. All right, here we go. So I should have everything in here. Let's change our plist. I think we can just load up our EFI share and do that. I think we can just mount it. I don't think we need to use any special programs. Let's see what we got. So I think it's under SDA, and I'm going to say it's that 200 SDA1 looks to be the EFI that we need. So let's just go ahead and mount dev SDA1 to MNT. And let's just do that as root, right? And then come into MNT. As you see, there we go. So let's first just open up OpenCore, right? And we're gonna look at oh, I'm not in. I'm like, I'm in bash. Like, what am I doing? 11 164 556, I think. Oh crap. Actually, yeah, we'll just use Vim. Where's my mouse? Okay, there's my mouse. Using a mouse with like a 1 second lag. Ooh, it's brutal. Not recommended. All right, here we go. TXT. All right, let's see what happened. Yeah, let's see where this crapped out. Oh. All right, let's see. We got an error on EOSR DMG. Well, that is unfortunate. All right, we'll close this out. We can try something else. Let's go ahead and edit our plist and change some of the verbose arguments. See if we can't take off some of that. CD, and we're going to go to EFI, OC, and then we should be able to just vim the config plist, and we should be able to find, oh, let's see, boot args. Let me pull up on my other machine here. I think we can get it. Frank, I prefer CentOS for servers, man. That's a guy after my own heart. CentOS is so darn reliable. I've had CentOS servers run for years without even a reboot. That's how stable those suckers are. You just can't get any better than them. Alright, I'm seeing if I can't pull up what we need to change here. Can't remember where I modified my verbose settings in the config plist. Should be able to find it though. All right, GSN, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, right now I'm just looking for this one key in here, which I think I found. Apple debug, Apple panic, and I think that should get me there. So let's go to debug. Let's just go back. Debug. Oh, no. No debugger on that. All right, let's go. What else we got? Panic. Nope, just those two for panic. Oh, you know what? Case sensitive. All right, there we go. All right, so Apple debug, Apple panic's true. Display levels, right. Sys report. Looks good. Target 67. Target 67. All that looks good. Oh, boot args. Dash V. All right. Well, thanks, chat. Why don't you just say dash V? Because I like making life hard on myself, man. That's why. All right. We'll just do dash V and boot args. Look at you being the voice of reason. Oh, no. Boot args. All right. Just come down. Let's do a dash V. Insert. Dash V. That should be good for the boot args. Target 60. Alright, here we go. Crap, I forgot to override this. Oh well, at least it's not a nano, I can just override it. Alright. Let's see if verbose mode's on now. We'll see. Yeah, that's what I love about the live streams is like you get to see all the absolute failures I've had. So great. But it's crap, it didn't even do verbose. I don't think that dash V was it. Well then, that was not what I needed. What I'll probably end up having to do here is take the EFI and switch it out. Reset NVRAM. Okay. I think that on config plist, I believe it resets the NVRAM, or maybe it doesn't. No, dash V. That's right. All right. Yeah, you're right. Reset NVRAM should get us there. Well, I say that, but let's see. How do you reset the NVRAM in OpenCore? I don't think I've had to do that before, which is kind of funny. You think out of all the times, I guess OpenCore Guide's just so darn good, I get it right every time. Command Option PR to reset NVRAM. All right, let's go. Command Option PR. Oh. Command Option PR. I don't know if that works on an OpenCore though. All right. Yeah. All right. I think no, I don't like Clover, man. There's too much proprietary stuff in Clover. OpenCore's just been so clean for me that I can't not do I can't OpenCore's the future, man. There's no turning back. I know it's more of a pain to set up, and all the guides online say Clover, and it's just been around forever. But no. I love OpenCore. Everything's there, everything's documented, and it's so darn good. I've gotten to work on like 3 or 4 PCs. It's just Big Sur's so new, and this PC I've already done some customization to it, so that's my thoughts. I don't know if there's any OpenCore themes. Just use Re-EFI. It's really awesome. Check out that. That's great. All right. Well, I guess we'll reboot this one last time. One last time. Why not just buy a Mac? Because they're expensive, man. That's why. if I'm going to spend a couple $1,000s on a PC or computer, I don't want it to be just meh. Because when it comes to the specs on a Mac, it's not that great, man. It's just not. All right, let's go. Actually, let's go into OpenCore. Let's see. Nah, OpenCore takes me directly in there. No! I should have known better on that one. Let's see how many times I can hard reboot my system before it breaks. Right. So yeah, if I was like a hardcore Mac user, to be honest with you, I would just buy a Mac. But I mainly do it for support of Mac users, and just there's certain cool things about Mac I enjoy. Like if you're doing like the Adobe suite or something, cool, you know. Adobe suite and Microsoft Office actually is probably the 2 reasons why I like to boot up the Mac section. I don't really use Mac for much else though. And the occasional support that I'll get, or a question, or maybe a project someone shares with me, that type of thing. Yeah, that's my main thing. Is y'all know me? I love to tinker. If there's tinkering involved, I am down. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go ahead, mount dev SDA1 to MNT again. I keep forgetting sudo today. It's just one of those days. It's a non-sudo day. All right, EFI OC. Yep, there we go. Let's go ahead, vim into that config key list again. Let's go full screen with that. All right. reset the NVRAM, which I think that was added on here. Bootargs. I think actually down here I can actually put bootargs and just delete it after each reboot, right? I don't think that'll actually do it. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Yeah, this actually had an NVIDIA card in it, and I swapped it to an AMD. So that's the error. I should actually remove NVIDIA from this. I just haven't yet. I get around to it. That's the thing about Linux, is like, even if you don't get everything right, it just works. So like I did in VRAM. See, it's already set to true. Allow NVRAM reset is set to true. Set to default true. Authorize restart false. Scan policy 0. Vault optional. All that looks correct. That's why I'm just like a little bit stumped on this. I mean, I think trying to do, but you know what? I upgraded to Mojave and Catalina no, I upgraded to Mojave like this, but I think Catalina, I went ahead and just made a copy of the EFI partition, tossed it on a thumb drive, and then I think I booted everything from it. Yeah, so for this, I probably would just grab that package file, extract it out, make a new thumb drive specifically over Big Sur. So, yeah, the in-place upgrade for me did not take. Sad face. All right. Show picker. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's do picker. Go to next. Where's picker? Show picker. Oh, that's false. Oh, yep, that one's right. ZY, you are the man. All right. So we're gonna just take this guy out. Put true. I forgot. I vimmed into this and didn't run it as sudo. I am terrible today. Terrible. All right. All right, here we go. Clean NVRAM. I guess we'll find on the picker if I have the clean NVRAM ZY. It should show the actual picker on startup, although I should have looked at the timeout on that too. Yeah, I think my time was set to 0 as well, or maybe 1, so that the picker just doesn't show. Or needing the clean NVRAM EFI. I don't think I have that EFI file in there either. All right. Well, I'm just going to chalk this up for now. Yeah, as I don't want to do a full, 12-hour stream of me messing around with Mac Open Core. I just wanted to try and do the Big Sur in-place upgrade. Did not work. Yeah, sadly, I have other stuff to do today, so I am going to go take care of that, including eating lunch. But I think next week we'll do a full customization of Windows, and we're going to try and emulate ameliorated. We're not going to just download the scripts, though. I'm going to go ahead and make a new GitHub project called Windows Lite. We're going to take those scripts, and then we'll modify them on stream, install a new version of Windows, and then strip it down. So that's what we're going to do Friday, I think, for that. It'll be funny. You'll spend the night doing that upgrade. I might just pull up Time Machine and just say, forget it. I wanted to give it a go. Just live. Sorry, y'all. But we're going to just say the in-place upgrade failure. Which is fine. It's fine. We learned some stuff. As we know from ZY, showing picker, checking the timeouts, making sure we have the proper EFI so we could actually clean the NVRAM. troubleshoot this some more. Once we clean the NVRAM, we should get verbose mode, which I obviously disabled in this one. But needless to say, if I want to just restart this and just go back to how it was, I'll just pull up Mac OS boot using a boot USB drive, and then just pull up Time Machine, and there we go. With Time Machine, I'll just restore it all, and there we go. Yeah, Don, I think if I probably won't give up per se on this. It's just I don't want to make a 4-hour stream of me installing Big Sur. It's just not much value there. I think we can do it, but it's just I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with it. The will is not there. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's definitely a mess up. If I had to do it all over again, probably copying the EFI, making a proper boot device is probably the easiest way to do it. Oh, yeah. You got it, Frank. I still got to get Void Linux. I really did do initd instead of systemd. That's so great. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to get out of here. This stream will be unlisted afterwards, but that's okay. I'm not going to move it or anything. So if you miss something or you want to, oh, hey, what did he say about this? You can easily go back in the live stream, check it out after the fact. That's cool. And if you haven't already, think about hitting the join button if you want some cool emojis, and get flagged also on comments, YouTube comments. You'll actually get some neat stuff. So either way, thank you, and it also helps out the channel and myself. So with that, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and next week I should have some fun stuff happening. We'll do the AME next week. I think that'll be fun. I think that one's going to be YouTube video worthy as well, because I think a lot of people are interested in that, as Linus just kind of showed, hey, this is AME, this is what it does, but didn't really show how to do it yourself. So that'll be a fun video to make as well. Get that. So with that, you all have a good one. Deuces. A dab for old time's sake. There y'all go. Don't worry, if you did miss the stream, again, just look at it. It's going to be unlisted. You can rewatch it if you like. But I will give you a spoiler. This stream was full of fail. And me breaking the Mac.